This video will contain spoilers for Midsommar, a thriller movie, and this video is intended for older audiences. You have been warned. Hey, it's SVK, and today we kind of have more of an adult type subject thing because I watched this movie a few days ago and I really wanted to talk about it because it's honestly such an amazing movie and I really enjoyed it. I also wanted to be able to talk about these types of stuff where we can talk about movies like Midsommar, and maybe I can watch other movies similar to this, but not gonna lie, Midsommar was quite a lot for me. For the people who don't really know what this movie is, I'm gonna give you guys a recap. Apologies if what I'm saying isn't fully in order or very clear. I'm currently making this without a script, makes this whole thing all over the place. This is how the movie starts out. It's a very beautiful scenery with, I believe, Swedish art. We have Danny, who's the main character, and Christian, who's kind of the sucky boyfriend. She got like a weird email from her sister, something that is obviously worrying Danny, and Danny calls Christian. Christian tells her to not worry about it, and Christian's a very absent boyfriend. It's honestly sort of depressing already seeing their relationship like this. His friends don't like her. They say that he should dump her because she's all over the place, and Danny is afraid that he'll leave her. So turns out her sister's message or email was actually a very big sign that something really bad happened, because her sister offed both her parents and herself, which obviously puts Danny into a spiral, and Christian tries to support her, I suppose, and that's how the movie begins. And it's honestly insane. Like the first 10 minutes or 20 minutes, somewhere there, we already have such a huge climactic thing happen. Honestly, it was kind of shocking to see that, but that's the beginning. And then I'm gonna be very, very brief with this. We time skip to summer, and then Danny and Christian go into a party, and she overhears by his friends that they're going to Sweden, but Christian never told her that he was going to Sweden, which is a really bad thing to say because he was planning to go to Sweden for a month. And so they get back home, and then Christian gaslights or blames Danny for her mood. Like, it was kind of obvious why she was upset, because he didn't tell her about this whole Sweden trip, which is very bad boyfriend thing to do. Then we skip to Christian probably inviting Danny to the trip, and so she's going to Sweden with his friends. His friends are Josh, which is the nerdy guy who's very into academics, Mark, who's kind of the annoying guy, and Pele, who's, oh my gosh, Pele, I freaking hate that guy. But Pele is the guy who's sending them to Sweden. Okay, they go off to Sweden. Pele is the leader. It's his own family's tradition or festival thing that he invited them to. And they get there and they immediately get Danny and the group high with probably some mushrooms. And she goes into a mental spiral. And then we skip to this place, which is the cult basically, but we don't know it's a cult, and it's a very peaceful, naturally thing. Honestly, very beautiful. And the music is great here, and the imagery, and everyone's in white, which is kind of eerie, but except the main characters. They invite them, they show them around, and one by one, they go through rituals. They see the rituals these people have, and they realize, and honestly, I don't know what the main group is thinking. Like, for example, Josh, Christian, and Mark, because they're very chill with people just with this cults, just these people throwing or killing off their own people in these rituals. And Danny is the only sane one here who obviously sees something wrong with this, and also as well Connie and Simon, which is the other two people who aren't in the main group, but another person has got them from Britain. One by one, each of the members die. Josh dies by hammer, and they skin Mark, and oh my gosh, it's very. They don't really show how graphic it is, but it's basically now just Christian and Danny. Danny is the May Queen thing. They drug Christian beforehand. Christian Sliv, which is one of the characters, she asked him, oh, you're the perfect candidate for Maya, which is a girl who's been eyeing Christian the whole way and was doing very strange very weird rituals, which I don't think I can even say here. And she was saying, will you sleep with Maya? And they end Christian off with open-ended type thing, we don't exactly know what he says. So then Danny wins May Queen, which is a dance festival, and Christian gets drugged again, and a whole thing ensues. They separate them, but then Danny hears music from a certain building, which is where Christian and Maya is. She sees there, and she feels betrayed, but again, I can't speak too deeply on this. So obviously Danny goes into a deep insanity, or kind of insanity. She was also drugged, so you have to keep that in mind. So after the whole ritual with Maya and Christian are done, they paralyze Christian, and Danny has to choose between Christian or another guy to sacrifice. And she chooses Christian, and all the people that were either chosen or quote-unquote volunteered or, killed off during the movie, they are sacrifices for this yellow temple. And that's basically how the movie ends. This was a very, very, very brief summary because I don't even know how to explain it without going on for hours. It was such a disturbing movie because it shows how easy it is to manipulate someone when they truly have nothing left. The Harga, which I believe was the cult's name, they gave her the one thing that she wanted, which was to not be alone, because she was now orphaned, she didn't have a sister, her boyfriend sucked, and everything was just absolutely horrible for her. And the Harga gave her what in the end was shown to be something that she quote-unquote needed, which was community and love and to be held and all this stuff. It's still bad. She traded from a neglectful boyfriend into a murderous cult. She got indoctrinated, and now she's part of this community, which isn't a good community. This community sacrifices themselves for a cause that's not really true. I watched this 6-hour explanation or analysis of this movie from Novum, and I cannot get even close to that type of analysis like Novum did, because he did such a good job. Check his video out if you want to spend 6 hours of your life with that. But he went into detail for every single problematic thing about this, and how Danny didn't go from a better support group. She just went into a more toxic, manipulative place where they're just also going to use her for their wants, like for what the Harga wants. She used to be trapped in a relationship with Christian where he was neglectful, horrible, terrible to her, and now she's trapped in a cult that acts like they're good for her, but they aren't good for her. This movie kind of fills you with a sense of dread because the moment they got into that festival, it was kind of hopeless from the start. They would have never ever left that place, either way. I mean, even if Danny or Christian decided to leave, I don't think they would have been able to, because the Harga would have still gotten to them, because they are good at hiding their traditions. They just kill whoever stopped them, and they're what they believe is right. It's such a sad but beautiful movie because it shows how realistic it is for Danny to slowly delve into this, how Christian was her tipping point, and how that tipping point honestly really destroyed her. Overall, I love this movie. This video did no justice for it. You need to check it out yourself if you're into feeling depression in the end or hopelessness. Because this movie doesn't have a happy ending, in my opinion. Maybe for some people they believe that the Harga is the happy ending, which I honestly don't think is true. But I don't think I'll ever watch it again, because it's so disturbing. But again, I 100% recommend it. I hope you liked my little rant about this, because I really like this movie, and I wanted to show my passion for it with you guys. Wish I can go into a long tangent analysis, but Novum already did that, and they did it wonderfully. And I watched the whole analysis, and I'm like, wow, I don't even know how I can put this into words. So I hope you like my little tangent. I surely did. Watch Midsommar if you're not sensitive to certain topics, because honestly, it's a hard watch. For the people who liked this movie or watched it, please tell me what you thought about it. I'm genuinely curious. Okay, that's all. Bye. Side note, we reached 500 subscribers, and oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. I genuinely appreciate it so much. This is a dream come true. Anyway, let's try to reach for 1,000 since you guys are so good at... Oh my god, thank you. Let's try to reach for 1,000. Bye guys.